I am a gay.
Oh, praise baby Jesus. So, yeah, they did it. No, not the UK government, not some far-left ideological think tank. The Duffer Brothers, aka the Duffer Brothers. They ruined my Boxing Day. Now, granted, between the booze and the food, my body is a temple very quickly turned into my body is a temple of doom. But still, this was meant to be comfort viewing. Instead, it was painful endurance. Stranger Things Volume 2, the show that launched hundreds of 80s movie references, a million synth playlists, and single-handedly resurrected D&D nostalgia for an entire generation. And somehow, after all that goodwill, all that cultural capital, what do we get? 3 episodes of narrative stalling. Look, I was already critical of Volume 1, and please check out my review if you haven't seen it yet, as it'll add a bit more context and some of my predictions from viewing the trailer for Volume 2, where, well, it's pretty much on the money. And after these last 3 episodes, well, I'm done. Yeah, of course I'll watch the final episode, of course I will, but I just don't care anymore. All goodwill, oh God, whatever, it's gone. Even if they somehow manage to land the finale, the amount of absolute rubbish I've just sat through will never make amends for what's come before it. Now let's get this out of the way. All 3 episodes are outrageously padded, with 1 or 2 exposition dumps in each episode. Yeah, Season 5, Volume 1 had padding, and to be fair, the previous 4 seasons had a lot of padding too, but this is padding hell and monologues between characters that never end. It's not a slow burn, it's not atmospheric, and it's not really very character driven. Have I said the word padding yet? Padding. Scenes exist not because the story demands them, but because the runtime does. You can feel it. Long walks, lingering looks, conversations that start, stop, restart, and end exactly where they began. Entire sequences that pretend to build momentum without delivering any pace or urgency. We're meant to be in the end game here. What the hell is going on? This isn't storytelling, it's stretching dough to the point of it snapping. Volume 2 feels like the writer's saying, look, we know this needs to end and where it needs to end, but we're just not ready to go there yet. So we wait, and we wait, and we wait. Padding. Volume 2 has a serious condition, and it's called compulsive talking. Nobody shuts the fuck up. It's wet and sloppy verbal diarrhea. Why say something in a few sentences when you can say it in 50? And when characters do stop talking, it's only for someone else to step in and explain very clearly the bare bones plot. The show used to understand the power of looks, pauses, silence, letting the audience connect the dots. Now, every conversation feels like a writer's room argument leaking directly into the script. Characters don't talk to each other anymore. They talk at the audience. Every time 2 or 3 characters gather in a room, the show slams on the brakes and says, right, it's exposition time. Tension dies, momentum collapses, and the scene becomes a PowerPoint presentation with synth music attached to it. The hell? Oh, blimey. Now let's talk about Dr. Brennan's notebook, aka the Volume 2 cheat guide, because this might be the single laziest storytelling device in the entire series. Old Dusty conveniently finds a diary notebook that explains the wormhole, explains how it works, explains why it exists, and explains how it will destroy everything if not maintained properly. And it crucially explains it in a way a teenager, child, whatever age they bloody are, immediately understands. There's no translation, no misinterpretation, no trial and error, just the answers. This is a major plot point that has never, and I repeat, never been mentioned in over 40 hours worth of storytelling in Stranger Things. This isn't discovery, it's lore delivery based on guesswork. Mystery used to be the engine of Stranger Things, and now the show just hands characters a manual and says, here's a major plot point, this is what you need to know in this instant, now crack on, mate. How does he even understand this? Why should we understand it? Why is it written in a way that perfectly aligns with the plot's leads right now? It's shoved in there so hard it made my eyes water. The story needs to move on, it needs something to cling on to, and the writers didn't want to do the hard work. There is zero setup here with an immediate payoff. Oh God, this is getting depressing, folks. I think I'm going to need to up my meds again. Oh no. Oh, and let's talk about that exciting escape sequence in the Upside Down. You've got Hopper, 11, and 8 being sucked off harder than they've ever been sucked off before. They're trapped, surrounded, and the odds are stacked against them. This should be terrifying. Instead, a little tiny escape rift opens up on the floor faster than Bonnie Blue's legs on a weekday evening. Yeah, that fast. There's no sacrifice, no irreversible consequence, and no costs. It's just plot armor in its purest form again. The Upside Down used to feel hostile, a place that didn't care if you lived or died, but now it behaves like a badly organised theme park exit. Don't worry, a portal will open shortly so you can get back to your friends. There's even a scene where someone asks if the air is safe to breathe in the Upside Down. Mate, everything down there is covered in spores, rot, and interdimensional cancer. But sure, mate, crack a window open. At this point, exposition isn't just a tool, it's the main character of Stranger Things. Characters constantly explain why they think something's happening and what might happen next and why that would matter, even when they have no logical way of knowing any of it. There is no investigation, there's no uncertainty, and there's no wrong conclusions, unless the final debunks everything that's happened in the previous 7 episodes. There's only confidence that remains, and Stranger Things no longer trusts its audience to think for themselves. It just does the thinking for you, and that kills any mystery or tension. So let's address the elephant in the room, which is episode 7, the I am gay reveal that wasn't offensive, it was just plain embarrassing. It's so ill timed to deliver this kind of thing when the team should be in their endgame moments. Will's monologue just goes on, and guess what? We can't be surprised. This is Western television for you in 2025. The message broadcast loud and proud from the same company that brought you Cuties. Netflix is a hive mind of degeneracy and nonsense, and why I give this company my cash, I don't know. And perhaps I shouldn't in 2026. I don't want to dwell on this shit too long, but the show has built up this moment since season 1. Why Will doesn't say he's gay and avoids the actual word, I don't actually know, and nor do I care, but he does have Vecna balls deep inside of him, and Will said that Vecna showed him terrible, awful things. Sounds like the kind of party I don't want to be a part of.
I can't feel or see anything.
Oh, and Max is awake. She can see. She has no broken bones. Did the Doofus brothers forget to watch their own goddamn show? It is infuriating watching TV shows like this. It takes you completely out and they've forgotten the narrative that they built up in another season. She should have died in season 4. Her arc was done. And I'd said it to many friends before and was proven right again. Like Hopper should have stayed dead. The emotional impact, which to be fair was amazingly done, was ruined when he come back. Anyway, I'm running the risk of repeating myself here, so I'll move on. And here's the unforgivable part. By the end of Volume 2, Episode 7, we're essentially back at the end of Season 4, Episode 7. The same emotional positions, same unresolved arcs, same stakes. Everything since then feels like busy work. This should have been 2 tightly written episodes, a direct continuation from Season 4's endgame, and a genuine final escalation. Instead, we got a reset pretending to be progress. This isn't payoff, it's just stalling. I'll say it plainly, the Doofus brothers don't know how to end this show. They knew how to start it, and fair play, it was lightning in a bottle. Yes, they borrowed heavily from the great cinema on TV that came before it, but when those references ran out, you can see the cracks. They knew how to expand it, but they didn't know how to finish it. So they padded, they explained, they hedged. Because endings require commitment, and commitment risks backlash. Stranger Things won't end boldly, it's probably going to end safely. So Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2 is overwritten, underconfident, afraid of silence, afraid of consequence. There are too many damn characters in it now, and it's afraid of finality. What began as a love letter to bold storytelling has become a franchise, well, terrified of letting go. The real tragedy isn't that it's bad, it's that it's forgettable, and that's probably the worst upside down of all. It goes without saying, I will share my thoughts on the season finale when it airs in a few days' time, because there's a couple of moments in the show where I think it should have ended, and I think they completely messed it up, and I'm going to hark back on that and bring it full circle. You know what? I'd be happy if the final scene, they're all in the basement, young again, and it was all a dream-like D&D game that Will created. The final shot freeze frames on Will, who has a sinister grin on his face as he stares at Mike's bum. The dirty pervert. Anyway, that was a really cheerful and uplifting review, wasn't it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will reply to all comments. I have all the time in the world. It's not like I've got kids, a massive family, work, birthdays coming up, shopping to do, mortgages to pay. It's fine. It's totally fine, okay? Thank you for watching, and if you're lucky, I'll see you in the next